I have the verses that I was using and quoting, and I wanted to make sure I got these right. Okay, so Proverbs 22 says, "The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is a slave to the lender." That's Proverbs 22. And I urge you to go check these out yourself. 2 Thessalonians, the second half of the verse, 3:10, says, "If a man will not work, he shall not eat." So clearly we are to work, and we're to work, men are to work from sun up to sundown. And there's many, many different ways to interpret that, but it is not sitting on your rear end playing video games all day long. 1 Tim 5:8 says, "But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel." Now there's two layers to that. It's also the education about Yahweh, but it is also on the physical level simply providing for your house. And it is the duty of the man. If you want to have a family, that is one of the responsibilities you have to fulfill for them. And another biblical concept that can be seen with Joseph, and also when the Israelites leave Egypt on the Exodus, is that the world is a place that provides for Hebrews when they need things. In Joseph's case, it's a drought. And he takes care of it. I know you all know the story. It's in Genesis. But it also cares for his entire family. And that's not the only place in the Bible where when there's a drought, people go to Egypt. Egypt is like going to New York City. It is a huge, powerful culture, but it also is dependent on the Nile River, and so they can grow crops probably year-round, where if it's droughty somewhere else, the Nile is usually still running. It's a huge river. And so Yahweh provides, and he provides in all ways. He provides supernaturally, but he also provides naturally. And if his people need something, he will make sure you get it, whether it be from the world or from somewhere else. And it's the same for the Israelites leaving Egypt. They are going, but they're going to need gold for offerings. They're going to need things to build a tabernacle, and the Father knows that, and so they ask from the Egyptians and receive goods. They get gold and clothing and, you know, all sorts of things, and the Egyptians give them. So as a Hebrew, you don't have to avoid the world entirely. I mean, you live in it, but you are to be in it, but not of it. You are not to be a Moloch worshiper. You're to be a Hebrew. But if you need to go buy a thing of milk from, you know, your local grocery store, that's what it's there for. It's for you to be able to provide for yourself. And Yahweh gives us models to base that on. So if you're not living on the side of a mountain doing everything for yourself, that doesn't mean you're a bad Hebrew. It just means you're opting to choose a different path for your life. Kind of what flows along with that, and I forgot, this came up during Shabbat. The tech world is looking, and you can Google this, to replace lots of workers, including accountants and doctors and things, with robots. And if you Google it, you'll see there's more than one techie guy talking about it, and they're starting to prep. That's an interesting thing. If robots do people's jobs, what are the people going to be doing with their free time? Well, at least a couple of Hebrews, and I know it's more than just a couple, are actually looking at going back to even sort of Victorian age, medieval age farming. You know, when you are being self-sufficient, a robot can't do all the things that you're going to be doing, and you won't be dependent upon that robot-driven system. And I'm not saying the robot-driven system has to, in and of itself, be terrible. I'm just saying when machines are involved, they break down, and then there's inconveniences and whatever. That's a choice for each person to make for themselves. Anyway, I hope this has helped you. I hope it's gotten you thinking. Shalom, bless you.